Listen, honey, if you want to land fabulous, then you need to take off fabulous. This is coming from a certified frequent flyer and someone who has gone viral a number of times for some pretty iconic hair wrapping videos on a plane. For anyone who does not know me, I am your main girl Mel. I'm a curly hair professional, and this video is going to include a few tutorials on how I can wrap my hair on a plane, as well as my in-flight essential items. So stay tuned if you're wondering what's in the bag, because this thing is heavy. That's my favorite thing to say. Let's get a "this thing is heavy" count on this video, and without further ado, let's get to it. You do not want to show up to the airport looking busted or even worse, rusted. Because is that really the first impression you want to make upon the place that you are landing? No! And I know that my blush looks crazy. I was just doing some shower makeup. I was testing what blushes I'm going to be bringing on my trip. As you can see, the swatches. Now it's time for the washes. I'm going to be doing a serious shampoo because really, well, put it this way. Even if you bring your regular shampoos and conditioners that you love and adore, the chances of your hair looking like it usually does when you're away are still unlikely. Simply due to the fact that water changes everywhere you go. So that's why we're just going to start with a really good wash. And you know, if it's all downhill from here, well, at least you started on a high note, you know? I'm going to go in and clarify my hair. I'm going to go in with a second shampoo, your Olaplex. And then I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do a Olaplex conditioner too, while keeping it consistent. You should keep your routine consistent. Don't switch it out too much or try too many new things unless you are traveling somewhere that is extremely new to you and the climate is new to you. I would definitely check the weather app. That way you know what you're walking into. Okay, I'm gonna walk into the shower now. I stink. I also have my self-tan on. I'm looking like an orangutan a little bit. It's still cute though. It's still cute though, right? For example, I'm always checking the weather to see how I should style my hair. And for where I'm going, I'm gonna need heat and UV protected, 100 million %. And I need to consider if it's going to be a very humid climate or very dry. Where I'm heading is humid, so I don't want to apply too many heavy products that are very rich in oils. I'm literally going to feel like a grease ball. A grease ball. So styling super lightweight with products that contain great humidity blockers and aren't too rich in humectants. I'm styling for high definition using a brush because I want these curls to try to last me as long as possible. And we're gonna move quickly so we can spend less time on our beauty routine and more time vacationing, right? Because how can you be mad on vacation? Who's gonna stress you out now, hun? Me, because my flight is taken off promptly. As you may see, it's a little crispy. Just what I need for my wanted longevity. But I do need to maintain this strategically. So allow me to take you through what's in my personal item. Now, as we dive into the bag, this right here, it's what I've gone viral for over and over. If I want a dream travel and a dream landing, then we're taking off Silky. Now, this is a little extreme. I don't actually bring this many with me, but I want to share a few options of the ways that you can wrap your hair up fabulously and shamelessly, because I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And all you really need for this is a large square scarf. There are different sizes that you can use, and I'll show you how they look because a bigger scarf will have more material that you could play with. But first, let's start small with the Peekaboo Pineapple. It's just what I'm gonna call this variety of a scarf style. You may wanna keep one of these hair slinkies on hand. This may make your life a little easier as you go through this process, but it's not necessary. If your hair is extra long or very thick, you've got a lot of it, then you will want one of these just to help keep everything contained. But as you can see, it doesn't really do much for me. And because I'm a pro at this, it's not a need, because all we need to do is fold the scarf in half to create this triangular shape, flip forward so all your hair is at the top of your head, wrap the scarf around and make a little knot at the top of your forehead. Now that we are here, I like to pull up the back of the triangle just to make sure it's covering the whole back of my head. And now you're gonna see why this comes in handy. Against the backrest of the seat, if you like to toss and turn, the back of your head is going to get frizzy. So this is helping to protect your style in the back. It's also keeping your hair up and off of your face. And I like this size scarf to complete this peekaboo pineapple because there's not too much extra material in the back after I create another knot to finish it off. And this right here is the look. And I know what you're thinking, is this also doable if you have really long hair? And absolutely it is. This is how it looks on my sister. Naturally, because she has more length, she's gonna have a little more flop on the top, but she could also create a super loose bun using one of these hair slinkies or a very loose scrunchie, just gently folding the hair. That way it doesn't lay too much on your face. Here you can see it again. It's honestly a super quick style. And it's also a go-to when I'm at home and feeling a little overstimulated and need to get my hair out of my face. 360. Next, please, if you want a little more protection on your ends, because the worst thing about an airplane is how dry and tight you may be. You can feel it in your skin, you may feel it in your hair, especially if you didn't do your proper prep. So if you are prone to that dryness, what we can do is take a hair serum or hair oil, and I usually like to keep one in my bag as well, and I'll smooth this over my ends for that layer of protection, and I'll show you how I protect it using this scarf right here. Remember, this is my larger size. By the way, any scarves, any products that I'm using, I'll just have them linked in the description box below so you can check them out there. But this large green one is a Curlfriend collective, and I'm gonna start off with the same method. We're going in once again with a triangle, but I'm not going to fold it all the way, where is she? To the next corner. I'm gonna fold one corner in about halfway. You can see where that is folded over. I'm gonna have the flap side facing me when I flip over and basically do the same thing. Now, as you can see, there's a lot more material on the sides of the scarf, so I'm just gathering. I'm still creating this tie in the front. Get in there. Okay, and see all this extra material? What's nice about it is now we can fully wrap all of the hair, protecting it from the airplane air, which is arguably worse than boyfriend air. Oh, don't get me started. Now I gather that flap into one of the two sides of the knot, twist them together and cross it over to the other side and tuck it in. And you're gonna tell me that when this is paired with an earring and sunnies that you don't look super chic? Oh, well, not if your tits showing. Well, maybe. Really uncomfortable nude bra. Honestly, I would rather not. I would rather not. You're probably not even listening to me because you're distracted by how chic. What's so fabulous about this is it's not just curly girls doing it. Even the girlies doing their overnight blowout curls on the airplane are wrapping up their hair and doing it flawlessly and shamelessly. This is your trip. It's your life. Live it however you want to be, okay? Let me show you a quick variation of this. Another one. I've got another very large scarf. It's the same size as this one. And this works better if my hair is a little bit longer. I'm gonna do the same half fold. Okay. Flip upside down, tie it in a knot at the top of your forehead. And now we're back here. We've got the very long flap and our two straps. I like to fold the flap forward. And now I'm going to cross these two in front of that. You can give it a knot if you want, and then you can tie it in a knot back here. And I don't know if you can tell because my hair is short, but if your hair was really long, it would be right up in here in a little bun. Gives you a little extra volume on top. She's cute. Or if we come back to that first knot, we can also just fold this over, make another knot on top of that flap to secure it, and then twist and tuck in those loose ends once again. And this is what that looks like. Remember, I am basically bowed under here, so I don't have that much hair, but if your hair is a lot longer, there's a lot of room, especially in these really large scarves. You can see all of this excess space. So what's really great is you can completely customize your look. Based on the length of your hair, you can pick which style you want to rock to the airport. And just like that, we are ready for landing. Or, I mean, if this is all too much for you, if you don't feel like doing all of this, there is no shame in the bonnet game, especially when you are sitting in your airplane seat. I do this especially for long flights when I know I'm going to be sleeping. Once again, I'm sweating. And if you ever feel nervous about doing all of this, like it's fine. It's totally up to you. Just keep in mind that absolutely no one is looking at you. They may glance and they're gonna look away and forget about you 3 seconds later. I do this so this routine that I put time into does not fail me. And I mean, honestly, that's just my hair, but I've got a lot more things in there that I have to travel with just in case. And as a very anxious traveler, these are all the things I bring with me. What's in the bag? We shall see. We're going on a trip in my favorite rocket ship. The first thing is securing the bag. Now, I tend to pack heavily because I'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. That said, there are limits, and I have reduced my absolute packing needs, necessities, non-negotiables in an Apple Note. If you do not have a note with all the things that you cannot pack without, well, then I'll give you mine and I'll have it on my website. That way you can just easily copy and paste. But that said, let's quickly get back to the bags. I typically travel with 3 to 4 bags. It's part of my strategy. From smallest to biggest, we start with this bad boy. This is the crossbody belt bag. I don't really know if we consider this a bag because this is like an extension of you. This always stays on me. I usually don't ever take it off, not even throughout my flight, unless some flights will tell you that it's a safety hazard and that you actually need to stow this under the seat in front of you. But most of the time I proceed unbothered, and this has my absolute essentials, which include my wallet, passport, strapped, a lip balm, gum, my headphones, and a portable charger. Next, we have the backpack. Now, the backpack, listen, aesthetically, I am not a backpack girl. I'm not. I hate it, but I need it. And this specific backpack has gotten me through a few years. I think I've had it for 3 years now. It's one of the Beis Backpacks, and it is a canvas material, and surprisingly, for the color, she stays pretty clean. It fits perfectly in the seat in front of me, and I do risk aesthetics for this backpack because one of my most irrational fears that is probably actually rational is losing my luggage. So I like to keep at least an outfit, my toiletries, my electronics, stackaroonies, and talk about bag within a bag. Within my backpack, I have all of my packing cubes. If you're not traveling with packing cubes, what do? Do you just throw everything barbarically in your luggage? Because that's what it is. It's barbaric. Don't be an Eric. Be an Erica and sort all of your things in packing cubes. We're gonna get to that. Clorox wipes. Okay. If I had to limit myself and pack extremely light, this is how I would pack. But I always travel with a carry-on luggage. I really can't travel without one of these bad boys. There was one trip I went to Europe and I decided I should carry less wheeled luggages. So I opted for my big boy as well as my backpack, and I regretted it instantly. And that's because as a beauty girly, I have a few hacks that kind of rig the system so that I can continue to have everything I need from point A to point B. Okay, are you ready for my trickery? Let me show you how I pack my toiletries. Unfortunately, the number one most annoying thing about traveling via airport, via plane, through security is these freaking things. I'm not talking about the minis. I'm talking about the bags. And if you've ever traveled through Toronto Pearson Airport in Canada, this right here happens to be the smallest bag I've ever encountered. And that means this 1 liter baggie here fits the least out of every other country. And as I've mentioned, I am not a light packer. These things are heavy. So let me walk you through what I do when I'm packing. I always pack 2 toiletry bags, and I get away with it. All that needs to go in here is your liquids and your aerosols. So we're talking hair care, skin care, and makeup. I can get all the products I need in these 2 bags. Now, I am absolutely a fan of getting minis and travel sizes when I can, because it can actually be unsafe to transfer certain products into new packaging. Depending on the materials of the new container, you can really mess up the stabilization of the product. It can become unsafe, it might get moldy. It's really not ideal unless we're desperate. So I do try to get minis when I can. And I also narrow things down, like my skincare. I narrow it down to a cleanser. I need a salicylic acid because I'm oily. This is my Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. I bring an acne treatment because if my skin looks bad on vacation, I'm not having a good time. Okay, if my skin looks bad, I'm having a worse time than if I'm having a bad hair day. That's how serious it is. I like to bring a hypochlorous acid spray. This is just something that works for me. This is Tower 28. And then sunscreen, obviously. Not just face, but also hair and scalp. Sun bum spray. Now, without further ado, I am about to be late for my flight, so I've got to go, but I will see you in the next video. If you are not subscribed to this channel, I post new videos each and every week. So if you have a request for next week, put it in the comment sections. I'm listening. Thank you so much for watching. Peace. Hello. I'm about to enter my yapping era. I need to speak more fluently so that Amanda isn't struggling with the editing. I'm not struggling with the editing because I need to learn how to edit myself sometimes a little bit more. I also need to learn how to what was I saying? I need to learn to film before dawn, dusk till dawn, from dusk till dawn. Yeah, dawn is in the evening, twilight, dusk till dawn. Have you heard that song? That was Amanda's same day edit song. A real tearjerker, let me tell you. Why is this always the time? I need help. We gotta go now. I need all hands on deck. Everybody, please. Can you just weigh my luggage?